Virgo, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for October 2022. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details, and I will also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks you for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Virgo, this is your monthly reading for October. We've moved into Libra season, so that's all about balance and harmony. The new moon in Libra occurs on the 25th or 26th of September, depending on where you are in the world. And you will start to see improvements in areas that you may have struggled in for a while. So it is a great time for things like business. Now that's at the beginning of the month, just to let you know. And also, attracting new love if that's what you're hoping for as well. But as we move throughout Libra season, the energy gets a little bit calmer, okay? Now we have 3 planets going direct this month, which can bring massive changes for the world. It's a pinnacle moment, and these changes, they can be shocking. They can also, because one of the planets that are going direct is Pluto, so hidden things come to light as well. And also, of course, we've got Saturn, which brings a little bit of restraint or restriction. Now, Mercury also goes direct, so that is actually very positive energy because things go smoother in terms of communication and whatever it is you're trying to achieve in terms of your goals. You may have noticed that as you even move throughout your own season, Virgo, that you felt like you were wading through mud, or you felt that you were taking 2 steps forward, 4 steps back. And that was planetary alignment influence. We had 6 planets in retrograde, okay? But those 3 planets going direct, you will definitely feel them. Now, these changes can be challenging for you on a personal level, but also on a global scale, of course. When planets go direct, it's normally a positive energy, but of course, one of the planets is Pluto. I just gotta go get that card for you. 1 moment, please. I just go get that. Oh wow, what is your reading is like off the charts explosive today. I gotta go get those cards. They're just jumping right across the room. 1 moment, please. Okay, your first card there is the 5 of Swords. Oh, you look like you're ready for battle. Okay, and we have the Tower. Explosive energy. Okay, so we'll get to those cards in a moment. Doesn't mean it's like, oh no, everything's doom and gloom. The Tower energy is to sort of get you out of a comfort zone. It's tried to break down restrictions. So if you've been feeling stuck, it actually means freedom, liberation. So, but we'll get to those cards in a moment. Because we're moving into a new time period, I'm doing a Celtic cross to shake up the energy for you. Now we also have Mars retrograding, and that's right at the end of the month, and it's right near a new moon eclipse in Scorpio. So that can bring interesting energy, because Mars going retrograde, of course, is a positive thing. It means, there'll be changes when it comes to things like wars or conflicts that are going around. But because there's also an eclipse involved, it can bring uncertainty. It can bring surprises as well. So as I said, it doesn't always have to be doom and gloom. This month is kind of like by the seat of your pants, globally is what I feel, okay? Now, of course, we have the full moon in Aries on the 9th of October, and that's going to give you extra energy to recommit yourself to goals and to really sort of reinforce the journey that you're on and revitalize your spirits. I mean, look at the 8 of Wands there. You're moving forward after a period of stagnation. So it's definitely energetically a very positive time for you. I definitely see you setting yourself free in some areas of your life. And For you in particular, your second house of value is starred during this time. So how you value yourself, if you feel like you're getting good value for the effort that you put into situations. You'll also be focused on your cash, your property, protecting what you've already earned, and finding ways to, take on certain responsibilities in a more sort of time efficient way. Also, the 8th house is starred for you as well, and that's about transforming your finances. So it's all about money, cash, value, because of those two houses. They tend to go hand in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, they want one more. Now, you may be looking at joint finances during the latter part of the month, and that's because that 8th house is connected to mortgages, credit cards, bills, things that you owe money to. For example, you may be looking at those things. And don't forget that, of course, as we approach that new moon eclipse in Scorpio, and I only mentioned that in particular because it occurs in October, okay? And that can bring uncertainty, especially in areas like taxes, pensions, things like that. So, for example, there could be some sort of changes that go on in those arenas, whether they're for the good or the bad. I mean, we're watching inflation and things like that rise. There may be some nice surprises involved for us, but, because we've got, how can I put that? Because it's a new moon eclipse in Scorpio, it can bring a little bit of tense energy. Things get a little bit pressurized. But good news is we've got Venus sort of stepping into the mix, which means things resolve again. So actually, there was a bit of a push and pull month ahead, and that's collectively. But I feel on a scale for you, on a personal level, there's a lot of really good things coming your way. The first card here you have is the Moon card, and that's the protagonist energy. So a lot of you are really connecting to your intuition, paying attention to hunches. And with this card, I mean, it literally says self-reflection. So, you've just come out of your own season, and that may have left you with big philosophical questions because you've already gone through your first house of identity, yourself, who you are, where you feel like you belong, and how you get to where you want to go. So the second house, of course, is then moving on to the things that you have accomplished, like the things that you value and how you've been valuing yourself. So it's a lot about looking inwards and really reflecting on your journey to date, how far you've come, the struggles that you've had, and how to move forward. This is also an energy of mystery, okay? So I feel even in uncertain times, you are using your intuition to sort of guide you throughout or navigate you to where you need to go. And I see with the Judgment card here, there's some choices that are going to open up to you. The Judgment card really connects to your soul path. So you may be really thinking about, are you on the right path? And if you're not, making adjustments to get on the right path. But I actually see that you're getting a wish come true here. You're getting what you desire. You've worked really hard, and I see here that perhaps you have a new focus in some area, maybe even business, because you got the Emperor card there. But the Moon card is about navigation, using your intuition to navigate uncertain periods. And of course, we've been living in very uncertain times for the last couple of years. I mean, they've always been uncertain, but now they're like uncertain and a little bit crazy and volatile and things like that. So, but I feel like you are actually listening to your higher calling, and you're going to get hunches that actually bring you to where you feel like you need to be. Now, it's so interesting that right now they're showing me an image in the water. And I say interesting because I've just noticed there, I tend to be looking in the water as I'm doing your reading because I'm scrying at the same time. They're showing me a very tall, elegant looking black cat in the form of an ornament, and it's got a ring in its nose. Yeah, it's definitely attached to Egypt, okay, because they're highlighting this for me right now. I want to say Bastet. And I believe this was one of the gods that were idolized, okay. They're giving me this energy of protection, of good times, good health. So perhaps that's what is... perhaps that's what that god or goddess, I want to say goddess, feline, feminine, yeah, goddess actually represented. Bastet, beautiful creature. Now, I feel this is going to be it's going to be important for you because I feel like it's a symbol okay? Something that you're going to notice over the month of October. So for example, you may be looking at videos online and suddenly see a video on, I think it's Bastet. I'm going to have to look it up. I mean, maybe Bastet? No, I think it's Bastet, okay? So you may see a video online about Egypt and see an image of that particular goddess. I feel it's a goddess. You could be walking down the sidewalk and look into a store window and they may have like an ornament in that shape. I mean, it could even be a logo of a company. So look out for that. I feel energetically it's sort of coming through to indicate, you know, protection, good times and things like that. So, but it's connected to this card. So it's like even in uncertain times, you're making sure that you're in a really good position. And those in spirit, the ancient ones, the ancestors who walk with you, are actually protecting you along your path, but they're guiding you. So listen to the calling. Listen to the calling, the inner calling. I'm going to move on from that image that's come out there. We've got maturity. So this is, of course, the strength card. And it's in the resistance position. So there's moments of doubt that may pop up over the month. This is a card that's in the resistance position, so it's like I got it in the reverse. And this is the thing that may sort of harbor your progress as you move forward. It's a little bit of self-doubt. Now, my beautiful Virgo, sometimes we all have a moment where we think, what if we fail? Or what if we're making the wrong choice? But listen to that inner guide. Listen to your intuition. It is there for a reason, okay? Also, I feel this month you may even come across people who are a little bit immature, try to push your buttons, but I feel like you're rising above this energy. I mean, you've got Cancerian, Leo, and Scorpio, Aries energy coming through very strongly. So that's, about strength, ambition, intuition, sensitivity. So I definitely feel you're governed by really balanced forces as we move throughout the month in order to get to where you want to go. I mean, the end of it, we've got the Four of Wands, which means there's celebration. Also, you may be compelled to think more about the home life. Some of you may be trying to actually buy a home or have been waiting to buy a home. Some of you with the Tower card, you've been waiting for some sort of perhaps crash to occur before you buy something, or you're trying to protect yourself with the Emperor energy. In case there is some sort of economical downturn that is like worldly, is worldwide and affects everybody kind of energy. So I just feel that in your energy, probably because of your 2nd and 8th houses. But that message has been coming up for pretty much everyone. So I'm feeling it energetically for everybody. But this card is about believing in yourself. It's also about, finding the strength and the patience you need to, do any task you put your mind to, because by the end of the month, this card goes in the upright, which means you conquer whatever it is you need to. You gain your power. There is an energy here also of self-discipline, composure, keeping your eye on the prize, and sort of finding the motivation and the strength to power on through and get to where you want to go. Okay, now we have the Judgment card right at the end, higher calling. Okay, and so this is about you sort of like leaving your old life behind or changing things in some area of your life in order to embrace new. This is a card of being a little bit in a fork in the road, a self-evaluation period where you're wondering, should I take a right? Should I take a left? Which is the right path for me? And when you're at a fork in the road like this, it is important to, of course, trust your inner guide. It's wonderful to watch tarot and, get advice from friends as well, or maybe even experts in whatever area of life you're trying to make changes. But the most important thing is to rely on your gut instinct. Hunches are so important, okay? So I just want you to be aware of that because your guides know you better. And you know you better, of course. With the higher calling card, there's something here that you've been called to do, like a mission. You may feel suddenly wide awake. You can see clearly, and you can see that your energy is being revitalized, and you've had a sudden revelation, and you know the direction you want to take. But this is an energy of being discerning, sorting the wheat from the chaff in your life, what's working, what's not working, and what situations you're outgrowing, and who or what gets taken on the next part of your journey, because you're evolving. Okay, so I feel a lot of you may be connecting even deeper to your soul path. You may be sort of like you're definitely moving ahead, that's for sure. But because your starting point is the 5 of Swords, this can be sometimes a little bit of self-sabotage, okay? Now, I'm not pointing a finger at you, my beautiful Virgo. Sometimes we all have moments of self-sabotage. Sometimes, you know, I've come across people, friends, who are actually afraid of success because they actually think once you hit a level of success, you have to maintain that, but also it comes with sort of trimmings, but also traps. It comes with, you know, things changing. And, you know, for example, I have a friend, a really great business mind, okay, and, you know, should really set up their own business, like in terms of, you know, doing things properly, and whilst they are doing their business, they could actually streamline their business a little bit more. They could employ another person to give themselves a little bit of a break, but they won't. They're all about controlling the thing. They never got any time for themselves. They are someone who, like, it's almost like they can't see that if they make the changes, it'll be actually easier on themselves. If they become even more, you know, a bigger business, because they're actually turning people away right now because they refuse to, you know, get help or employ anybody to, you know, sort of come on board the business. They're turning people away because they realize that things are expanding and it's becoming overwhelming. So they're just like afraid of the changes that could occur. That you, but in some way, and my friend has even said it themselves, they know they're self-sabotaging themselves because they're afraid. They've said if they expand, that may mean that, you know, they may have to relocate premises. They may have to, it's a bigger deal. It's a bigger thing. And sometimes we can feel swamped when we're looking at the bigger picture, but it's so important to just, you know, take a breath and look at the finer details. Just pay attention to the details. And Virgo, you're really good at paying attention to the details. You're someone who is really focused. You're really, you see everything, okay? Nothing gets past you. The Five of Swords does indicate that there may be some mental conflict in some area or some tension, okay? Now, tension is a good way to sort of see your motives and your restrictions. It's a good way, it's almost like a good gauge in life that something's not working. So with this card, excuse me, you know, if you can see, have a look at that card, like it's all these like tentacles. If you're feeling like you're having to do everything all of the time, it's like, where can you streamline places or areas of your life where, you know, you could either ask for guidance or you can delegate. You know, sometimes if, for example, you're in a partnership and, you know, you feel like you have to do everything, you're cleaning the home, you're looking after the kids, you've also got a job to do. Sometimes say to your partner, hey, could you pick up the kids this time because, you know, I want some me time or something like that. So it's about really restructuring your world to make sure that you have time for you. I'm going to pull a quick card on the Five of Swords because you can see here there's two boats. Now this may mean that there's two decisions. You know, there's a decision to be made. It could be which path you're going to take. Some of you may be relocating or moving in some area of your life and you're wondering what's the next step, because the Judgment card is literally the fork in the road. Which path do I take? And then the Five of Swords is like, okay, I could go in that direction or I could go in this direction. Right now, I want it all. Okay, now this card is literally got like hook, line, and sinker. So it could mean also that someone is trying to push your buttons. So I would be a little bit mindful of that. I'm just going to pull a quick card and see what deeper. Okay. So this is a lot of cards here. So Eight of Pentacles, working really hard, things needing balance with the Six of Pentacles. High Priestess, there you are, trust your intuition. The Lovers card in the reverse can mean, you know, discord between relationships, or perhaps it's like you don't want to make a bad choice, because that's what this card is, the choice card. So in the reverse, it means you don't want to make a bad choice. Now, who does? But if you trust your intuition, it will guide you. Your heart knows the way, okay? So imagine yourself, my guides just said this, very interesting. Imagine yourself in each scenario. So imagine if you took route A, and imagine the lifestyle, how it would feel, how you're going to live that life, and how it's going to be, and how it's going to have a knock-on effect of your life. You know, for example, if you go for a big job opportunity, you're working for a big company and they expect you to put in loads of hours, they're going to give you loads of money, massive bonus, but you literally giving all of your time and your energy to that. you may find that you may neglect other areas of your life, but it may be worth it because of the money, if that's what your focus is at this time. I always say money's not a bad thing. It's how you approach it. We all need money to pay bills and things like that, so important. But also life experience is important too. So it's about finding balance. Then you've got route B, for example. A little bit less money, a little bit more enjoyable work, perhaps a little bit more time for you. There's a sacrifice. You may be pulled in different directions, and you may really try to, figure out which is the right route for you. Now, this doesn't have to be applied to work, but because we've got so many pentacles here, you're working really hard. You feel like you're in a bit of a work-life repetitive cycle. Everything's just routine, and you're like, where do I find the balance? How can I find more balance in my life? Because right now, it seems you're just focusing on what's ahead of you. And the High Priestess is you really trying to sort of intuitively work out, use your inner wisdom, and deep down know that there's a better way. The Hierophant indicates advice, for example. Okay, you could get advice from somebody, a mentor, even if it's a video online of how to do something. Some of you may be wanting to set up your own business, become an entrepreneur, because we've got the Emperor there. You may go online and look at how people have done it in the past. When you get this card, this is a card of having faith. You know the way, okay? And the Queen of Swords, interesting. When you've got it in the reverse, it's like, yeah, Virgo, you are normally a very, very, logical person, very shrewd. You make great decisions, but with it in the reverse, it's like sometimes your heart needs to be engaged as well. You know the way. So this is like, yes, some things that we love, it's not logical. We choose the path that our heart is governed or is trying to guide us towards. So I would say it's important to listen to your heart at this time and your intuition. Also, the Queen of Swords, in the reverse indicates, that right now you don't have clarity of purpose, or you're feeling a bit lost on this. And it sort of indicates if you're feeling a little bit lost, make sure you get good advice, okay, on a situation, whether it's from your friends, whether it is, it's good to get a broad sort of spectrum of advice, but ultimately you will take your own advice. Now we've got the Tower. It's a crossing energy. It's come up for a couple of signs. Now it could mean, like on a collective scale, because it's showing up so often, it can mean that we're in for a bit of a bumpy ride collectively in terms of the world events. But there's nothing new there, okay? We all know to expect difficult times ahead. But the Tower energy basically means you're feeling stuck. So whether it's you're stuck with a decision that you have to make, or whether it is, some of you may be like deciding to leave a relationship. That Lover's card is there. It's in the reverse. Some of you may have already left a relationship and you're trying to adapt to life as a single entity, and you're trying to focus now on your own good fortune and building a wonderful lifestyle for yourself. The Tower represents a surprise, but it also represents a prison. So like you can go round and round circles searching for the answers, but unless you take a leap of faith, unless you know that things have got so uncomfortable that you need to make a move, things will never change. The Tower is like a deconstruction of all the things that are just not working in your life. And that's what Libra season really does. It sort of breaks things down in order to bring balance and harmony. What is best for you? Because the Tower, everybody sort of goes, not a tower. They get really like shocked when one shows up in their reading. And it actually is a positive force of change. Okay, it welcomes in new. It brings positive transformation. Now the Tower can also mean, if something feels off, keep your eyes peeled. You don't want to be shocked, okay? So it can mean like a rude awakening, for example. But if you think of it in terms of a prison, whenever we get complacent or we just go round and round circles in a routine, we know something needs to change, but we feel helpless to change our circumstances. And the universe makes things so uncomfortable. Like normally the Tower is on fire and two figures leap into the unknown, because it's better to take that leap of faith than it is to stay where you are, which is stuck. The universe tends to make things in our circumstances so uncomfortable that we are forced to change. So if there's something causing you conflict, or you feel someone has been unkind or deceptive to you in some way, or there's some sort of even an abusive relationship going on here, and you're trying to work something out, there's a definite need for change, and you're going to sort of break free of any of these restraints. I just feel freedom for you, okay? What is below you? We've got the Seven of Cups, choice. Use your imagination. You have the whole world ahead of you. You can have anything you want. You can work towards it, you can manifest it, and you are going to accomplish great things. This again is a card of choice, but it's also a card of shattering illusions, being really clear about what you want, and sort of seeing things as they truly are. And Virgo, you're not the sort of person to ever lie to yourself or deceive yourself. You're the sort of person who is clear-cut honest with yourself, okay? So I feel this month also, because we've got Pluto going direct, you see through a lot of things, people's motives, or if they're not telling you the truth, for example. Even on a global scale, things that have been hidden from us will come to light as we move into through Libra season into Scorpio season. Things just come to light, okay? And sometimes we may see a little bit more social unrest, but right up until Mars goes retrograde, of course, then things get a little bit calmer. But I feel like it's that calm before the kickoff point, okay? But I feel on a personal level, I feel like you are sort of like releasing things are just not working for you. And it's not that you're giving up on something, it feels like you're finding a better way, okay? Now the Three of Cups is a card of having good times. You're celebrating a win, perhaps. It's in a past position. So you may have been like trying to enjoy yourself for your birthday month, for example, and now you're getting focused. Now you're getting clear. Now you're like, ambition is kicked in because your second and eighth houses have made you really like shine a light on your finances. And I feel that you're going to be working towards something here. Three of Cups is also, a card of sharing resources, as I said there. People coming to sort of give you a heads up on something, maybe even sharing a piece of information. But this ultimately means joy. You're coming into Libra season from a place of joy. Okay, and when we do that, when we try to be as positive as we can despite our circumstances, we actually attract more good things. Okay, and I'm not saying be happy all the time. That's impossible. Human nature just doesn't work like that. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. Sometimes we want a duvet day, and sometimes we're raring to go and can take over the world. So it's just about how you find yourself in every moment, and sort of really reflect on that energy and honor it, because we can't always be a human doing. Sometimes we just have to allow ourselves to be that human being, okay? And that card of self-reflection is to take a pause, reevaluate the circumstances. Are you on the right track? Are you happy where you're at? If you're not, what needs to be changed? You will liberate yourself once you discover what it is you truly want to change. And from then, it's like plain sailing, okay? Now, the potential here is to have everything you ever wish for. Nine of Cups, what more could you ask for? This is a card of satisfaction, contentment, good times, fulfillment, the good life. They're showing me that image of that cat again. So with that symbol coming up with this card, it can be protect your dreams. You're about to unlock your destiny. Don't give up. Keep going. You're about to reach a successful point in your life where things come to a climax. Especially since we've got the Eight of Wands there as well. It definitely means you're moving forward. There's loads of golden butterflies there as well. They're really highlighting those for me. They're illuminated right now. So golden butterflies may also be a symbol for you over the next 4 to 5 weeks, or perhaps you see a butterfly that is sort of dancing in the sun and it appears golden. I mean, I don't know if there's an actual golden butterfly. I mean, I've seen some yellow ones and some bright orange ones, but golden ones I've not quite seen. Maybe they're rare, maybe they do exist, I don't know. But it's almost like when I'm looking at this card, I think of the secret of your success is you have a great imagination, and you are someone who sort of sees all the potential and all the possibilities within you. It's just sometimes there's a moment of a little bit of self-sabotage of what if it all crumbles and breaks apart? The thing that I'm building, what if it all falls down? Sometimes also it can be what you need to do, but we avoid it. We procrastinate because we feel like the bigger picture is something that is so overwhelming. But actually it's about the details, because you can take one step every day of your life towards the goal, and suddenly you're reaching the top of the mountain. Suddenly you've reached the goal. But if you start looking at the mountain like, oh, I need to accomplish that right now, then of course you're going to feel a little bit intimidated by that big old mountain. So it's literally about, you know, as you move forward, you're going to accomplish what you set out to. Now, the Eight of Wands is good news coming your way. It's in the near future position, but it's also an elevation position. So it means you're moving on up. Things are going to get quicker for you. They're gathering momentum. And this is a card of transformation. Now, some of you are going to be eager to experience what new opportunities and new lands have to offer for you. Some of you may actually go on an adventure of discovery. You're definitely going to be energized. Some of you may want to travel, for example. Some of you may have even booked a trip to Egypt, and maybe that's why that image is coming up there for you. But whatever it is, I see you elevating. And you can literally see this person here as well. It could be someone in your immediate vicinity who offers you a leg up in some area of your life, you know, to take another ring on the ladder, as it were. So, because with these two opposing elements, it's like someone shares a hot tip or shares some resources with you, and it helps you elevate. Someone gives you some really good advice, is what I'm seeing. Also, there's loads of like golden-ish butterflies in this card as well. Interesting. But as you can see, all the ivy is around this person. They're really highlighting the ivy. So that can mean something has been negative for you. There's been a negative experience that may have even impacted your growth or impacted your journey ahead, but you're going to be launched out of that. You're coming out of that stagnant period, and you're going to elevate. So a lot of good news, a lot of success. Perhaps something you've been waiting on hearing from is coming your way. And I feel like it's connected to your soul path. It's connected to your mission, the thing that you feel called to accomplish. Now, your advice to yourself in this moment is Four of Pentacles. Keep yourself safe. Think about the home life. Focus on your finances and create stability, especially in the circumstances we all find ourselves in the world right now. The Four of Pentacles is about ownership, taking charge, you know, having responsibility for your own actions and finding that balance. As you can see, even though it's a Four of Pentacles, it actually really connects to the Libra season with those scales. So I feel like you're looking at your knowledge versus your growth. So for example, you know, if we bring it back to career, it doesn't have to be, it can be also about love. You know, if you put all your effort into a love situation and you find that things are out of balance, it's like, why do you keep giving to that situation if you feel like you're not getting something back, or you don't feel good about yourself or the relationship? You're giving and you're not receiving. Now, we do not give to receive. We actually give because it feels good, and we hope to have a reciprocal energy from the person that we love or the career that we do. We put our effort in and we get a financial reward back. It's not just financial. Some of us just feel really good about the job that we do and think, you know what, I feel like I'm accomplishing something. I have purpose and I have worth. And I definitely feel that's you looking this month at how you view your situations. Am I getting worth for my value? Basically, I feel like also you're trying to balance things out. But there's something here. As you can see, there's something here that has growth. It has a lot of potential, but there's no leaves on that tree. And some of you may feel compelled to learn a little bit more about your craft or learn a little bit more about relationships or yourself in order to find that balance. Because I feel, there is definitely a strive here for balance. And that's probably the Libra season influence. But I see you with the Four of Pentacles, really protecting your finances, making sure everything that you own is secure. Okay, some of you may have even been compelled to, secure your finances. Some of you may have even been thinking about security for your home. Some of you, not to say that there's anything going on there. I don't see anything negative going on. I just want you to be aware of that. But you may have thought, oh, maybe I should get an alarm, or maybe I should do this, or maybe I need to change the batteries in my alarm or something, because the Four of Pentacles is about security. So I'm just getting this energy of securing all things, finding a solid foundation, making sure you and your people, the people you care about, are protected, because the Emperor is the protector. Okay, so I feel like you're not just doing this for you, my beautiful Virgo. I feel like you're doing it for others as well. You're extending your kindness and your love to others. With the Emperor energy, this is a real indication that, you're making really good decisions in terms of business if you're still working. If not, it can mean that you think about sort of like returning to the workforce or even setting up your own business, because this is an entrepreneurial energy. But this card is also a reminder that we need to find balance. The history of this card, there always used to be like a little jester in the background, which represented, of course, the Fool card, which was a reminder that as we get older, we must remember to, you know, nurture our inner child and not forget to have fun. You know, sometimes life can really push us down. We're always focusing on things like bills, working, trying to spin all the plates and everything like that. And at the end of the day, it's like, did we have fun? Did we find time for ourselves? And if the answer is no, then balance needs to be created, okay? So that Emperor energy, I definitely see you with a plan, because the Emperor is a great strategist, someone with a plan who sees it to the end, someone who's respected. There's a lot of leadership here. You're a natural born leader. So whatever plan you have, you're moving yourself closer to the goal, to the end point, and you're going to accomplish great things. Also, the Emperor, and this is the position of external circumstances, the Emperor can be all about control. It can be about, you know, traits of a leader who wants to protect you, gives rules and regulations and things like that, power structures. Now, remember, as we went through your season, my beautiful Virgo, you will have seen shifts of power. And, you know, also as we move through this season, there will be sudden reversals on things that we thought was the norm. So, you know, this can be a time where things are changing drastically and we have to find stability in those changes. And you will find that, okay? This is an Aries energy, so the full moon energy in Aries is really going to impact you and give you that extra boost of energy to be productive and get what you need done to a successful high level. And you never really do anything that's like not 100% anyway, because it's like, if it's not worth doing, you won't do it. So if it is worth doing, you would always do it 100%, okay? Now, also, they're not letting me put this down. The Emperor energy is also about getting good advice, okay? It is someone who, you know, maybe is an authoritative figure who knows what they're talking about. And because your second and eighth house, which is all about finances, some of you may approach like a bank for a mortgage, or, you know, you may be trying to buy a home, because we've got the Four Wands here, which is the home space. So some of you maybe, if you're trying to save for a home, you may be talking to like brokers and realtors and things like that. So this represents people who are in established positions of power to help you reach your goals. It could be your financial goals as well. This card can also connect to, like, if you're wanting to work for a certain establishment, you know, because I feel like there could be someone who's like a friend in high places here that offers an opportunity to you. That's definitely coming through here. But the majority is like, I see you elevating to a position of power, maybe even in terms of promotion or raise. I feel like you are elevating, and you may feel you're taking on more responsibilities. Now, the next card is the Hopes and Fears, Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords here is about new ideas, okay? You've got a new focus. You've got an idea. It's suddenly sprung into your mind and you can't stop thinking about it. This is a very curious page, okay? So when this news comes in, whatever good news this is, it really sparks your attention and you're like, let me investigate this further. This is your brain synapses going crazy, working things out, analyzing, you know, being really eager to learn more about it. So this is a card where it's like calculated risk, but also this card applies to genius, someone who's, you know, got a really brilliant mind. And I always say that about you, my beautiful Virgos. You've got an incredible mind. So I would say, because you have to make a decision on something, the Five of Swords can be that your brain starts to feel a bit of tension because you're overthinking. So just be a little bit mindful of that. But I feel like you will find your way, you'll speak your truth, and you're going to explore either a new project or a new focus, a new idea. It's kind of like not fully formed yet, but it will be forming, okay? Also, the fear here, you know, when you get the Page of Swords in this position, you read both the upright and the reversal energy. And this card in particular, in the reversal position, can be to do with taxes. It can be to do with finances, you know, getting a bigger sort of tax bill than you thought, or it can be that you know, there's some sort of legal advice that you need to seek out. It can also be that there's someone who brings bad news towards you. So this is a hope and a fear though. So it's almost like, will it be good news? Will it be bad news? So you're wondering either or. It's not that it's going to be bad news. It's kind of like you are investigating a way of making sure you're prepared. Okay, because the Four of Pentacles can also be to be prepared. But as you can see, this figure is like listening to something on the grapevine. So I feel like you're doing a lot of investigation. You're keeping your eyes peeled. You're, you got your ear to the ground. I'm going to pull a quick card on that Page of Swords for you as well before we move forward. The Knight of Wands. It's in the reverse. So the Knight of Wands in reverse indicates you don't really want to be impulsive. Okay, you've got your eye on a goal, but you don't want to rush into anything. You don't want things to be chaotic. You're trying to make sure it's a smooth transition to whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Okay. Also, you may feel like you don't have the energy for people who are bringing drama and, negativity to your door. So you're cutting things out like that. The Tower says release, liberation. And we've also got the Nine of Pentacles, self-sufficiency. You're good all by yourself. It's not that you don't need other people, as in friendships and things like that. It's that you're very good at, solitary energy. I'm a Scorpio. I understand that energy. Sometimes we need to take a step back in order to regroup our energy before we get back into connecting with others. We absorb a lot of energy. Nine of Pentacles also indicates you're going to be saving a lot more money in the long term, whatever this is. And, only giving out a little bit. So the Nine of Pentacles is basically, you having financial gain, building towards a life of luxury, being self-reliant, and, having already put yourself in a really good position financially should there be any shocks and surprises. Also, the outcome energy is really, really positive. We have the High Priestess again. Another reminder, Virgo, you are the key to all this, to listen to your intuition. Deep down, The High Priestess also is someone who is silent, who keeps things to herself. So some of you may be, for example, setting up your own business in silence, not telling anybody. Some of you may be changing the way you operate or the way that you respond to situations, and you're keeping a low profile, as it were. But the High Priestess, in this particular card, she's standing in the nest. So it's like, where do you belong? Okay, it's like intuitively, the home space is your sanctuary. So intuitively, you're doing a lot of your thinking time there in order to protect what you've already got. Remember those houses of value and finances. Also, the Four of Wands indicates, a couple of things. It indicates success, good news coming on in, reaching a milestone in something that you've been working hard towards. But it can also be reuniting with people that you haven't seen for a while. This Four of Wands is all about being in a creative phase, celebrating your wins, but also being in harmony with other people. You're in sync with not just other people, but also with your desires. You're going to be in good company. The end of the month leads on a bit of a high where you sort of like find your soul tribe and enjoy yourself a little bit more. But the High Priestess and this card together indicate there may be a bit of a push and pull between you wanting to get out there, enjoy yourself, but also sort of staying inside and focusing on either trying to save for a property or save for bills and things like that, or even just focusing on some sort of new project that you're trying to get off the ground. I would say you're definitely in command of what's happening, and I say here with these two cards that there's some really good stuff that's going to be celebrated when you leave the month, and you must listen to your intuition. That is so important during this time. Also, the Four of Wands, for some of you, if you're looking for love, I don't see it as your focus, actually, but I feel like you will have an opportunity to find love if you want it. Four of Wands can be a card of returning to good times with good people, and it can be about finding your soulmate, coming into being with somebody that you find attractive. There's normally Four Wands, which represent the 1111 portal, which means a potential soulmate coming on in for you. This person could also be another Virgo, and they could also have Aries, Leo, Sag in their chart, just so you're aware. Very private sort of relationship coming on in for you, very passionate, and I feel like you and this person will spend a lot of time in the home space as well, but also you'll be going out and enjoying yourself, of course, but I feel like it's a very private sensual connection that's coming in for you, maybe even a divine counterpart. I'm going to pull 3 cards just to close your reading to see what other sort of blessings are coming your way. I'm only reading the uprights in this deck. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? We have Four of Pentacles. That is to stabilize. It is to hold on to your finances. okay? And it's also about longevity, things that are not like here today, gone tomorrow. You're building a solid foundation. But remember, sometimes the Four of Pentacles can be the miser of the deck. If you hold on too tightly to all the things that you should be doing, the responsibilities, and you're holding on to your finances, of course, sometimes it doesn't leave us any room to enjoy ourselves. So it's about finding the balance. We've got the Magician card. As I said, you've got very strong manifestation skills going on. Your thoughts are becoming things. You are in control. You're someone who is very, very talented, okay? Very talented indeed. You have a lot of gifts. And whatever you turn your hand to, you're actually really good at it, okay? So it's all about your focus, though. So if you're wrestling with a decision and it's trying to throw you off course, or something is trying to derail you, the universe is saying, listen to your intuition and focus. At this time, it's about, you know, stabilizing. It's about finding a solid foundation. It's about holding on, especially, and then taking a leap of faith, of course, especially if you're trying to do something new or open yourself up to a new experience. The Fool card is the beginning of something, the beginning of a venture, and to trust that your path is protected, because the Fool card actually, the story of the Fool is he or she just puts one foot in front of the other and does not worry about the outcome, does not worry about attaching itself to anything. It just trusts that the universe has its back, okay? So it's very important that this is something you approach October with, okay? I'm just going to get some final cards for you. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. They're actually showing me a wolf in the water right now. So maybe that's about finding your way. I mean, it looks like a wolf. I mean, it could be one of those husky dogs as well, but they want two, so I'm going to give that to you. We have squirrel, always be prepared. Okay, so as I said, that Four of Pentacles and the Four of Wands is like, you know, preparation. And so you're relying on your hunches to get ready for something or ready to make a decision. It says, you are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. That's something that definitely came up in the reading. Make a plan for the future and life will give you all you need. Okay, and we've also got polar bear mystic. If you think about squirrels, you know, they gather their nuts, they prepare for harsher climates, the winter, for example, and polar bears, they actually operate under difficult circumstances. They thrive and survive in harsh climates as well. So this is really about knuckling down, getting into a solid position. I definitely see you in a really good position, that's for sure. It says, know that challenges are making you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. Okay, so important. You're getting lots of messages. I would say the one to really look out for is that Egyptian type cat, Bastet, which I'll look it up. But know that there is some really good news headed your way, and you're going to find that energy you need to accomplish tasks. And there's a little bit of celebration as well going on. Well, of course, we've got the arrow. That's about direction. It's about you being that warrior spirit. It's about the sacrifices you make, the courage that you have to get justice for yourself and being on target. So I definitely see you on target. I also see you elevating. The arrow pointed up is a very positive indicator that you're moving forward. And I mean, it had to come up for you, my beautiful Virgo. We've got the rune that connects to wealth. Okay, this is the cattle rune, Fjord is called, and it's all about wealth, fulfillment, attracting abundance, more money coming on in, but this will be your primary focus as we move throughout the month. You're not going to be obsessing about it, but it may be something that will be on your mind a little bit more. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in this reading for you. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is very, very important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Virgo. Love and light.